A colossal white parcel burdens the shoulders of this seasoned outdoor enthusiast. Far from a lightweight backpacking excursion, this massive load conceals a vintage British Army officer's tent from World War II. Such a heavy-duty canvas structure is deliberately brought into the autumn woods, where the forecast threatens rain, setting the stage for a rigorous weather test. On this very first attempt at assembling the complex and unfamiliar frame, wooden poles are extracted from their packaging without a single instruction manual to guide the way. Relying purely on mechanical intuition, the camper slots the metal ferrules together to form the primary skeleton. The massive olive green canvas is subsequently unrolled across the forest floor, revealing the daunting scale of this vintage military architecture. His hands work with a deliberate slowness, betraying a complete lack of prior experience with such heavy-duty equipment. The entrance orientation is determined through sheer guesswork, rather than a technical blueprint, reflecting a complete absence of instructional guidance. With no manual to consult, the assembly relies entirely on intuitive spatial reasoning and blind experimentation. A thick central guideline is then pulled taut, serving as the vital anchor point for the entire structure. This improvised method transforms a complex structural puzzle into a rigorous test of mechanical intuition, where every connection must hold firm under tension. The hope is that the framework will remain intact as it is lifted into its final position. Wooden pegs are driven deep into the soil to secure the tension guidelines. Miraculously, the cumbersome canvas rises into a stable inverted V shape, defying its own massive weight. Minor adjustments are made to each rope, followed by securing the wall base with smaller stakes. This careful and methodical process finally anchors the towering vintage shelter firmly against the harsh, unpredictable elements of nature. The rear panel is revealed to be an identical functional entrance, offering versatile access points for the shelter. Thick canvas doors are rolled upward with practiced ease to maximize ventilation and expand the usable interior volume. Standing fully upright inside, the camper confirms the generous headroom, clearly validating the practical livability of this classic military design. Two upper ventilation apertures provide a clear, unobstructed view of the surrounding woods, while simultaneously ensuring essential airflow circulation throughout the interior space. A rough Hessian skirt lining the base is deliberately tucked inward to effectively eliminate cold ground drafts and seal the perimeter. This simple yet deliberate spatial adjustment instantly transforms a stark, cold military shelter into a remarkably cozy and inviting interior sanctuary. External toggle loops are discovered outside, revealing their true purpose as anchor points for the rear door. A wooden mallet drives pegs through these loops, locking the heavy entrance firmly in place. This final structural tweak ensures the massive canvas remains secure against autumn gales. A modern folding cot is unpacked. It is to elevate the sleeping experience far above the damp forest floor. The sturdy frame is rapidly assembled, with each metallic connection locking securely into place to ensure structural integrity and long-lasting stability. A clever pull-tab mechanism is then utilized to attach the fabric bed to the poles, showcasing a brilliant and simple engineering solution designed for ultimate outdoor comfort and ease of use in the wild. The adjustable leg sections are carefully clicked into position to establish the perfect structural tension required for long-term stability in the field. A lever mechanism is then firmly engaged, instantly stretching the cot, fabric taut, to provide optimal spinal support throughout the entire night of rest. The fully assembled bed is carried inside the cool tent interior, where a lightweight sleeping pad is meticulously laid out and aligned to complete the comprehensive rest system. This unique sleeping bag, blending synthetic fibers with natural wool, is introduced for its impressive cold weather temperature ratings. The base features a specialized mesh ventilation zone, directly addressing the common issue of nocturnal foot sweat. Furthermore, a top-centered zipper replaces the traditional side design, allowing for effortless entry and exit. This innovative structure significantly enhances user comfort during outdoor adventures. The generous opening arc provides superior accessibility compared to standard models. A thick cotton baffle and a wide Y-shaped zipper prevent the fabric from snagging during restless nights. A hidden compartment then releases an integrated mosquito net, creating a breathable protective dome above the face. While unnecessary inside the canvas tent tonight, this innovation proves invaluable for open-air camping in bug-infested regions, offering true peace under the stars without the constant irritation of biting insects or the need for chemical repellents, ensuring a restful sleep in the wild with complete protection. 3 grippy strips on the underside of the bag prevent it from sliding off the sleeping pad during the night. With the shelter fully configured, the focus shifts to building a fire for the evening meal. An upside-down fire lay is constructed by stacking logs in reverse order, utilizing a commercial fire lighter to ignite the top layer for a long-lasting burn, rather than relying on a traditional base-up ignition method that requires constant tending throughout the night. The top-down burning method ensures a steady coal bed with minimal tending required as the evening progresses. A small kettle is placed near the heat zone to warm water for the upcoming meal. Meanwhile, a bushcraft knife is used to peel sweet potatoes, adapting to the lack of a standard kitchen peeler. A metal trivet is then positioned over the flames to support the heavy cooking vessel. The fire remains too intense for direct pot placement, yet it is clearly approaching the ideal temperature for slow cooking. Good enough.
Dice these up a bit.
Sweet potato and onion. We're just getting too dusk now, and that's 6 o'clock, 10 past 6. The clocks haven't changed yet, so haven't lit my one of these in ages. Life hand. The vintage foyer hand lantern is carefully ignited, its flame catching the wick, to cast a warm, steady glow over the darkening campsite. Chopped sweet potatoes and onions are then added to the Dutch oven, mixing thoroughly with the minced meat at the bottom. A generous amount of turmeric is sprinkled over these ingredients, introducing a vibrant hue and earthy depth to what promises to be a hearty, slow-cooked stew that will simmer for approximately 40 minutes. Thick tomato juice is poured into the pot, creating a rich sauce for the ingredients to simmer in. Lacking heat-resistant gloves, the camper ingeniously uses a trivet sleeve to handle the scorching hot iron oven. The pot is sealed to braise, with a strict plan to rotate it every 10 minutes for even heat distribution. The resulting dish is finally revealed, steaming heavily and packed with complex flavors that promise deep satisfaction. On this cold evening, the rich stew is tasted, delivering a brilliant and comforting warmth, perfect for the dropping winter temperatures. Thick slices of sourdough bread are ladled with the hearty mixture, creating a deeply satisfying meal that truly works. As the food is consumed, a weather check reveals a 36% chance of rain, signaling an impending test for the canvas shelter against the incoming storm and wet conditions outside in the wild. Just about it, light rail. 5 in the morning. That is going to test this 10. And in fact, beyond 5 in the morning, that's just like the next day's weather. Then, if you can hear that, dear. Monk Jack. epitome of a British woodland, deciduous woodland. At dusk, is that a munched shark and some tawny owls? It's so still tonight. There's literally no wind whatsoever. The blogger reflects on his young children, a daughter nearly 4 and a son of 17 months, highlighting the stark contrast between domestic chaos and woodland solitude. He admits to sleeping well, especially when rain begins to fall, providing a deeply relaxing auditory experience for the weary camper. As the downpour arrives, he notes that while it sounds heavy outside, the thick canvas absorbs the impact. This produces a muffled, secure sound inside the shelter, turning the storm into a comforting lullaby. I've also got the leap. Right? I'm gonna get some sleep. Now I'll let you guys know how the night went tomorrow. The morning reveals a thoroughly wet forest, confirming that the rain persisted throughout the entire night. Remarkably, the interior of the unproofed canvas tent remains completely dry, passing the ultimate weather test with apparent ease. This success is attributed to the physical properties of the fabric, where wet threads expand to seal the needle holes naturally, creating an effective barrier against the relentless downpour without any prior chemical treatment. The expansion of the cotton thread effectively waterproofs the seams, demonstrating a brilliant self-sealing mechanism inherent to heavy canvas. With all firewood completely soaked from the night's rain, the exhausting effort to gather dry fuel is entirely abandoned. A simple breakfast of bread and biscuits is chosen instead, embracing the quiet, damp reality of the forest morning, without the warmth of a fire, accepting the chill as part of the experience. It's just coming through. Not sure what they are yet. Nice show guys out there, might I? Everywhere. Coming through here. Welcome to my humble abode. That was. The green sleeping bag is forcefully rolled up and packed away as the dismantling process begins. The main support pole is removed, causing the heavy canvas to sag slightly before being systematically folded, acknowledging the sheer physical exertion required to collect wet wood. The decision to skip the morning fire is finalized. The massive rain-soaked tent is now prepared for its heavy journey home. A unique loop and toggle system is demonstrated, revealing a practical method for securing heavy canvas in extreme conditions. The wet, heavy fabric is folded over, requiring significant strength to manage the cumbersome load. With the massive pack secured, a final thanks is offered for witnessing this rigorous equipment test. The 2-day expedition confirms the vintage shelter's exceptional resilience against wind and rain. Though packing the waterlogged canvas leaves him breathless, a deep sense of satisfaction remains. He offers a cheerful farewell, promising to return next week, as the scene fades to a solitary tent glowing softly in the dark woods.